Somebody tell me what kind of bizarro world I'm living in, where I'm going to a theater to watch Netflix. I don't feel at home in this world anymore is also a movie title, and a sentence I've been hearing quite a bit lately. Melanie Lynskey and Elijah Wood starring in this movie about a couple people looking around at the world around them and thinking, you know what? Let's just do better, okay? It's from Netflix, who's really getting into the movie game lately. Gonna pay off for him? Here's 5 things you might want to know about I don't feel at home in this world anymore. Personally, I love that Netflix is getting in the feature-length film game. The more the merrier as far as I'm concerned. And this is really good. I had a good time. Melanie Lynskey is an underrated actress. You've seen her in a million things, but she doesn't usually play the starring role like this. And I think this movie proves that she can do that. I really enjoyed her here. She has a warmth to her and an understanding to her that when she gets frustrated and takes action in this movie, it's really believable. And I think that's the core of when this movie does work. Why it works is because we buy into her as a person. The other thing you might fall in love with this movie is how quirky it is. It really is a strange animal. It feels very much like a Coen Brothers movie. And I think that's purposeful. You can tell they took a lot of their vibe from what the Coen Brothers do. Not just with the kind of dark comedy and those kind of things that happen, but also with how quirky these characters are. I think of Elijah Wood in this. He is so good and so interesting to watch here because he's that perfect blend of strangeness and quirkiness, but with somebody that you like and want to believe in. He pulls it off well here. I also don't want to sell short the storytelling of this movie either. I love the way they build specifically momentum in this world. There is, from the beginning to the end, a thriller that's developing, a little bit of a whodunit, a little bit of what's going on here. And they deftly operate the momentum machine to get us where they want us. At the beginning, it feels a little like we're just kind of walking down the road, and then things start to pick up. And by the end, we're running in this sprint for this third act that I think feels really alive because of the way they let us there. So I had a good time at this movie. I wouldn't say a great time. There are some flaws here. We'll bring this up first. And I'll just make this a warning because this is actually something a lot of people enjoy, including myself. I didn't mind this too much. The humor here is really dark, and I'm not sure it works because it's only dark. All of the humor is in the violence, maybe a little bit of the nihilism of the movie, and because of that, sometimes it can feel slapsticky. So it doesn't feel like it has any oomph or purpose to what's going on. It just feels like it's there to shock you a little bit, and you're thinking about the same person behind Green Room, and I think there's a lot of that there as well. I think I've talked about it in that review, actually. That the purpose in the violence feels missed because it just feels there to both kind of give you shock and make you laugh a little bit. That combination can work, and it can also fall flat. The other part of that, and I really do feel like this is a negative for the film, at least for me, the other part of that is it takes some of the heart out of the movie. I mentioned the Coen Brothers earlier. That's what they did so well. You had the violence and the humor in the violence, but there was also an empathy to it and a heart to it in the story, in the themes. Now, I mentioned the characters have heart and empathy. They do that really well, but it's also the story that has to have it. And I don't feel like this story has enough thematic work done in it or enough heart in what we want to happen or purpose in what we want to happen for us to feel any importance in the story and what they're trying to tell us. So it's just kind of missing that heart. Overall, though, I feel like I don't feel at home in this world anymore is a long title. And also a decent film. I had a decent enough time with it. It does some interesting things well. It does have that Coen Brothers feel to it and a great performance, enough for me to leave it right at a B. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, I want to let you know we can connect in other ways. I would love to chat it up on Twitter. Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. That's where I do most of my pop culture conversation. So let's hang out there. We also have a podcast. If you do the podcast thing, you can check that out at SiftPop, SiftPop. Just find a podcast player, search for SiftPop in there, and it'll pop up. You subscribe, and those episodes will come right to you. You can also connect here on YouTube. Feel free to leave comments, subscribe to the channel, hang out, like videos, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. I love the little community that is building here at YouTube. It's lots of fun. All right, let's get on to the best ever challenge. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. Let's just do it. What is the best Melanie Lynskey movie ever? She's been in so many things. You can use like IMDb or Wikipedia or whatever you want, because I want you to see how many movies you love she's actually been in without kind of coming to the forefront. I think it's about her time. For me, my clue, I'm going to go with the one where a former Batman fires a bunch of people. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point. And leave your choice there as well. As always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit the subscribe logo. Just click it right down in this corner. If YouTube ever decides to change the subscribe logo to somewhere else, my videos are going to be all messed up. But for now, I think it's here. What kind of backwards I don't feel like I belong in this world anymore. I don't feel at home. Stars marinate.